Will Joe Schoen go back to the future and draft another offensive lineman? This is Tim, this is your Giants Straight Talk, powered by Online Big Blue LLC. Is there an alternative pick to the wide receiver or the quarterback in the Giants' near future? And that should be the question. And everyone's always like, well, we gotta get the offensive line fixed. How? I've been hearing since Jerry Reese, since the 2011 Giants, who had one of the worst offensive lines in the league, and still went and won a Super Bowl, that we need to fix the offensive line. Everything's going to be predicated around the offensive line. That's the only issue that we have. Once we fix that, every quarterback that we have is going to be stellar. There's not a lot of clarity in that thought process. And you want to know why? Because I think these people aren't drinking their magic mind. It's the little green shot. It's the little green elixir. We've talked about it now going on a couple months. I have been a Magic Mind fan now ever since I took that first sip, that first drink. It helps give you focus. It allows you to help. Now, in some regards, maybe you don't want to eliminate coffee, but it helps to lower your coffee intake. It's one of those things, if you need to be more productive, if you need to be more focused, if you want to keep that energy level high and steady through the day, the best thing for you is not to just keep chugging these energy drinks, not just to keep chugging these cups of coffee. It's get some Magic Mind. It does all those things. It's a little shot. It's in the morning. Hell, sometimes I've said it before. I put it in with my smoothies and my drinks. It helps replace coffee. It allows me to drink less coffee, makes me more productive, more focused. It allows me to sleep better at night. You want to know why? Because I don't have the anxiety. I don't have the stress. And we've talked about it a million times before. It's the matcha man. Why is matcha great? It's less caffeine in coffee, and it has this added compound that helps extend the benefit of the caffeine and slowly releases it for your body to absorb. Like I said, I'm not a scientist, but that sounds pretty freaking awesome. It's the little green shot. It's the little green all-natural elixir. Go right now to magicmind.com backsplash. Why do I always want to say backsplash? I'm going to say it again. It's magicmind.com /NYGST. Use the offer code NYG20. Get a little surprise. Just, go on the site right now. Just go to magicmind.com /NYGST and see what's going on, because there's something you need to look at there. There's something that if you go there is going to make you happy. And it's going to make you want to try this product. We're going to try it again. Magicmind.com /NYGST. Don't forget to use the offer code NYG20. It's Magic Mind. All right, let's talk about the offensive line. Yeah, it's in shambles. Yes, it's in disarray. We have been drafting linemen exponentially, trying to figure out this problem, trying to solve this problem. I'm not going to say waste, but we use high picks on offensive linemen. We use low picks on offensive linemen. We try to bring in an offensive lineman during free agency, and we still have not. And then we're still trying to cultivate some of the offensive linemen that we've had on this team since like 2020. Nothing's working. Maybe, and I keep saying this before, and everyone's like, well, you can't draft a quarterback with a bad offensive line. Well, a lot of times the quarterback is one of the biggest issues of the offensive line. If the quarterback holds on to the ball too long, if the quarterback doesn't know how to move in the pocket, if the quarterback sees something breaking down and collapse, you cannot fault all the sacks of the Giants last year on the offensive line. A lot of it, I would say a good at least 30-40% of those sacks were also due to the quarterback. The poor quarterback play, not getting rid of the ball, holding onto the ball too long, not understanding your pocket fluidity, not understanding how to move. I like the way you move. Not understanding that. Just standing there like a statue and then deciding to run when shit breaks down. No, there is a way you can step up in the pocket. They always use the phrase like he climbs the ladder. But if you have a quarterback that doesn't do these things and can't do these things, your offensive line is going to look worse. It's amazing that we won more games with Tyrod Taylor and Danny DeVito than with Daniel Jones. Think about that for a minute. You paid a guy $160 million. He went 1-4, and a backup quarterback who should be less than a third stringer, and a guy that's over the hill technically, and Tyrod Taylor, won more games. We've said that a million times. There's something very wrong here. What if, though? What if? And it's a big if. What if Joe Schoen decides to go an alternative route. Is there a alternative player that the Giants could select at 6'8", 315 pounds out of Notre Dame? Of course, I'm talking about the big old Joe Alt. I could, you know what? I don't know his actual weight. He could be 320 now. I don't know. I don't know his actual. Well, no, I don't like giving out the weights because of the fact that you're gonna have to wait and see at the combine what Joe is. And Joe has the NFL pedigree. He has the big school experience. He continued his legacy, and he's going to be continuing his legacy of John Alt in the NFL. He's got all the accolades. He's been dominant at times on field. He started back as a freshman. I believe he started 8 games, and I think he had over 600 snaps. He allowed only 7 quarterback hurries and 1 hit and 3 sacks in that year. He became more dominant in his sophomore year with over 800 snaps. His protection became impeccable.
That's what she said.
Giving up only 3 quarterback hurries and 2 quarterback hits without a single sack allowed against him, including he's got first-team All-Americans distinctions. He had another elite year last year, 1 sack, 5 total pressures, playing left tackle once again. This is the thing that gets me about Joe Alt. He is a left tackle. We've already seen what we tried to do with Evan Neal, who was dominant at the left tackle position, move him over to right tackle. But he is a left tackle. He is a prototypical blindside guy. You looking for a blindside protector? That's your guy. Joe Alt's your guy. Joe Alt. Joe Alt's your guy. He really is. Are you looking for a guy that's going to basically have the athleticism of a tight end because he was a former tight end? Who's got a nice first explosive quick step? He's got that nice quick step. He uses his big arms and his wingspan to displace rushers. He's got a lot of torque in that lower half of the body, which helps helps him move his man. He's got like I said, for his size, which I find quite interesting, for his size, he really keeps his pads level, and he really goes after the point of attack, and he knows how to sustain his blocks. He doesn't hold, but I'm saying he locks onto somebody. That's it. And this is in college though. One of the things that worries me a little bit, I would say he's adequate right now. And this could be taught, picking up stunts and blitzes. So, which, you know, I mean, like I said, he's not terrible at it. I would say he's good to average to good at it. So he's going to have to, but he'll learn that a little bit, hopefully he'll learn that with a good offensive lineman. He is a guy that I think he will, if anything, immediately he'll dominate the running game. We've always talked about it. He's a mauler. He's a mauler, shot caller, 24-inch rims on the Impala. He knows how to just get this guy out of his way. He knows how to clear the zone. And you combine that with him being a dominating pass protector in college. He knows how to anchor the line. The problem is, once again, we're going to say it again. We're going to say it again for the cheap seats. He is a left tackle. So unless you're planning on moving Evan Neal to guard and giving him that right tackle position, or potentially moving Andrew Thomas to right tackle and giving this kid the left tackle position, it's not the perfect fit. It's not the perfect fit. And if you look at his footwork, I would say is average at best right now. Does he have that? You know, we talk about Evan Neal not getting out of his stance quick enough. We talk about his lateral quickness, Evan Neal. You watch old Big Joe. Big Joe's got a little bit of issue with I'm not saying he's not. I don't think he's as slow as Evan Neal. But if you compare the film to him and Evan Neal in college, they both kind of have the same understanding of coming out of their stance in reference to quickness. He's not elite. He's good with his quickness. He's not elite. I think he uses more of his size and his statures and his arms to actually make up for a lot of that. But you're not going to be able to do that in the pros, because you're going to get too many opponents that go around him. He is, if you watch the film, he is susceptible to certain pass rushing moves. And if you want to take, people want to talk about his punch timing, because the punch timing is used basically to kind of neutralize the swim move. He's going to have to work on. He's got to fine tune. A lot of this is going to he's going to have to be worked on with the offensive line coach. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. For a guy though that is big and as strong as he is, I don't. He doesn't get bullied around. But if you're going to go man to man blocking, that's not going to be his forte. He's going to be more astute in maybe a zone type run blocking scheme. I mean, but again, these are things I think he can get out of his. I think, like I said, with a good coach, I think these are things that he can work on. That he is going to be a guy, like I said, he's going to fit more of a zone fit scheme. Like I said, while he is nimble, John be nimble, John be quick. Did John jump over that candlestick? I don't know. But like I said, he's got the agility, and he's got, like I said, the quickness. I want to see more quickness. I want to see more him getting off the line a little bit faster. People refer to him as a nimble giant. I do think, like I said, I do, as a former tight end who's playing this role, I do think he's nimble. But there's a difference between being nimble and being quick. That's what you need to talk about. That's what you need to think about. And like I said, but if you go solely by the gene pool, his father, offensive lineman at Iowa, first pick out with Kansas City Chiefs in '84. He's a guy that could be. He could be an interesting projection. He could be a guy. Everyone has him projected as a day one starting left tackle. So the question is, do you want to, again, if you're Joe Schoen, draft someone out of position? Do you really want to go that direction? And I'm curious about that. I am interested. I'm interested to see that. And like I said, I'm more interested to see him gain a little power on his contact. But all these things are nitpicky. And all these things I think can be, these are coachable things. Things that he needs to work on are very coachable. As long as he has the work ethic and the athleticism, this is all coachable. But again, we're going to say it one more time. We're going to say it for the cheap. We're going to say it for the cheap seats. Are you going to draft a guy and play him out of position again? And that's going to be the big question. People are, like I said, I think in some regards, if Marvin Harrison Jr. is not there for the Cardinals pick, that they're going to go Mr. Alt because they need some offensive linemen to protect Kyler Murray. So I'd be curious to see where he falls in the draft. It's going to be an interesting draft. A lot of people, like I said, think the first three picks are going to be quarterbacks. I don't, because there's always some kind of weird shakeup in the draft. We'll have to wait and see. Don't forget the big old live stream on Sunday. Don't forget to go to NewYorkGiantsLive.com and we'll read the article that talks about the alternate pick, Joe Alt. That's NewYorkGiantsLive.com. And we'll see you Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as always, this is Tim. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell because you want to know why. That'd be awesome.